Right now at noon, a new lawsuit being filed in connection with a growing child sex abuse investigation in Vancouver. Wyatt claims Kaiser Permanente knew about complaints of abuse for years. Plus, a shocking case out of Seattle after police say a 19-year-old University of Washington student was killed in an off-campus apartment overnight, now a suspect on the run. Plus, Oregon's Attorney General asking for more resources to help fight corporate consolidation, why he's warning Oregonians could see higher prices and fewer choices.
I'm not willing to pay this. That's not what the World Cup should be about.
And even though the World Cup is in our own backyard, many Americans feel that tickets are out of reach. A new lawsuit has been filed in Washington against Kaiser Permanente in connection to a growing child sex abuse investigation in Vancouver. Thank you for joining us. I'm Tim Gordon. This case involves Dr. Michael Wilmington, who was found dead of an apparent suicide earlier this month, a medical assistant, and another man who was due in court today. And a warning, some of the details here are disturbing. Let's bring in Devin Haskins for the latest on this developing story. Devin.
Yeah, Tim, the 12-page lawsuit was filed in King County, Washington this morning because that's where Kaiser Permanente's corporate offices are for Washington. It claims Kaiser failed to protect the patient, only known in the lawsuit as Jane Doe, from Dr. Wilmington's alleged abuse. The lawsuit, which is asking for unspecified damages, claims Kaiser should have known about Wilmington and his alleged predatory behavior. The woman was a patient of Wilmington's and is now living in Marion County. She says Wilmington made sexual comments to her, showed her pornographic material, required her to be naked when it wasn't medically necessary, and inappropriately touched her. Wilmington was facing a felony warrant for child molestation for allegedly hosting naked sleepovers with young kids at his home, but was found dead earlier this month of an apparent suicide. Two other men have also been arrested in this case. Chad Hartley was a medical assistant for Wilmington. And on Friday, 61-year-old William Snyderwine made his first appearance in court, and he'll be back in court again today. He's been charged with conspiracy to commit child molestation and tampering with evidence. Prosecutors say Snyderwine introduced the two men together and later tried to destroy evidence once he learned Hartley and Wilmington were being investigated. Neither Snyderwine or Hartley are mentioned in that lawsuit. We reached out to Kaiser Permanente for a comment about the lawsuit. A spokesperson acknowledged our email sent to them and said they get back to us. Tim?
All right, Devin, thanks for that update. And a reminder, if you or someone you know is a survivor of sexual assault, help is available 24/7. You can call the National Sexual Assault Hotline at 800-656-4673. Police are searching for the suspect in a deadly stabbing at a University of Washington student apartment complex. Police say they responded last night around 10 o'clock to a reported assault at an off-campus apartment. That's when they found the victim, a 19-year-old transgendered woman. Officers tried life-saving measures, but she died at the scene. The university says it will offer counseling and support services. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office is investigating after the Columbia River Patrol recovered an adult body in the water near Kelly Point Park earlier this morning. No word yet on the identity of the body or the manner of death. That body is being handed over to the medical examiner's office where a cause of death will be determined. We will continue to update you as we learn more. And new at noon, Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield is calling for more state resources to help combat monopolies and, quote, illegal mergers. Rayfield says consolidation in industries like healthcare, food, and media can lead to higher prices and fewer choices for Oregonians. At a press conference this morning, Rayfield called on state lawmakers to help expand Oregon's antitrust enforcement team inside the Department of Justice. Rayfield says states may need to play a bigger role as federal oversight shifts.
Probably one of the most stark contrasts we've seen with any president is the words that come out of his very own mouth, where he seems to be prioritizing backroom deals and political calculations rather than enforcing the laws that are meant to protect all of us as consumers.
Right now, the AG's office is pursuing active consolidation cases, including the potential merger between local news corporations Nexstar and Tegna. Tegna is KGW's parent company. That merger would cover 80% of American households. The suit argues it would lead to less competition, cut local jobs, and increase cable fees. Nexstar has said the merger followed required regulatory approval and will make local stations stronger. All right, taking a break from the headlines now, here's a live look at our Rose City sky cam. Just beautiful blue skies out there, and we're expecting temps well into the 70s today. Meteorologist Rod Hill has a tough duty of being up on the weather deck, looking at it all. Hey, Rod.
Well, it is tough, Tim, because if I stand this way, now I'm looking south, I can really feel the north breeze hitting my backside, which is a bit chilly. Otherwise, it's mainly clear. It's beautifully sunny outside. North winds in the forecast this afternoon to about 15 miles per hour. I want to jump to our headline, and our headline is, it hasn't rained in Portland in nearly 3 weeks, and we think that's going to change as early as tomorrow night. You can see the weather system clearly offshore. Here's a real quick snippet of what Futurecast is showing, and it shows tomorrow evening as early as about 9 o'clock or even 8 o'clock before the sun goes down, we could see showers migrating south to north up through the area, and then eventually get into some overnight thunderstorms, which is what this is showing you up and down the I-5 corridor. Again, that would be tomorrow overnight. And then there would still be some rain coming through perhaps on the day Wednesday. Okay, for the meantime though, it's beautifully sunny. There's the Astoria column camera where it was a cloudy start, but now all of the coast is showing some sunshine. Salem sky camera, temperature outside 67 degrees. And one more sky camera. This is the one you already looked at, downtown Portland from the Rose City camera, showing a temperature of 67. Tim, I think we're on track to be up to around 80 degrees this afternoon for a high, minus the somewhat cool north breeze. It's really lovely outside, sir. Back to you.
It sure is. We just hear a little breeze in your mic, but you know, very nice. Thanks, Rod. Well, here's a look at some national headlines this afternoon. Americans who were aboard the cruise ship affected by a hantavirus outbreak arrived in Omaha, Nebraska early this morning. They're being taken to the National Quarantine Center at the University of Nebraska Medical Center to get care and support depending upon their condition. American and global health officials have stressed that transmission is only possible through close contact.
The risk of hantavirus to the general public remains very, very low. The Andes variant of this virus does not spread easily, and it requires prolonged close contact with someone who is already symptomatic.
3 people have died since the outbreak began April 1st. Another 5 who left the ship earlier were infected. Oil prices jumped roughly $3 to about $103 a barrel this morning after President Trump rejected Iran's response to the U.S. proposal to end the war. Without offering details, the president said Tehran's peace proposal was, quote, totally unacceptable. Iranian state media says the deal focused on ending the war and resuming the flow of shipping traffic through the Strait of Hormuz.
Everything we put forward in our proposed text consisted of reasonable and responsible demands and generous proposals, not only for Iran's national interests, but for the good, stability and security of the entire region and the world.
However, Iran's proposal didn't mention winding down the country's nuclear program, something Trump has said is a must. Well, the man accused of opening fire in the lobby of a D.C. hotel hosting the White House Correspondents' Dinner last month has pleaded not guilty. Cole Allen faces multiple charges, including attempting to assassinate the president. He could get life in prison if convicted on the attempted assassination charge alone. Allen's defense team has asked for U.S. Attorney for D.C. Janine Pirro and Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche to be disqualified from the case, arguing their attendance at the dinner qualifies as a conflict of interest.